And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the Dice Tower, and today we're talking about ArchRavels. Now, I am not a knitter. In fact, the only thing I know how to do with yarn is to tangle it, much to my chagrin. I also found that we don't need yarn too much here in Florida, it seems. Quilts and sweaters and things aren't as big of a deal here. But yes, I know a lot of people like it, and it's quite a big hobby. And so I am thrilled, I tell you, that there is a game with this theme. Because I am all for games bringing more people into the hobby, and we have enough trading in the Mediterranean and zombie type themes. Why don't we have something that people actually do and enjoy? Now, of course, having a cool theme that helps bring people in the hobby is only half the equation. Is the game any good? This is a game in which you're collecting yarn and using that yarn to sew things and using those things then to fulfill orders. Here's how it plays. Game, there are 6 different colors of yarn: red, green, purple, blue, orange, yellow. There are also 5 items that you can make: mittens, stuffed animals, hats, scarves, and blankets, each of which is worth a certain amount of points at the end of the game. Players are going to start with one of each of these colors, and they're going to start with a character. Each of the characters is, not only are they different in the different actions that they have here, they have something that they particularly like to make, and then you're going to put some random tiles here for the stuffed animals, the mittens, and the scarves. They're just going to show different colors on them. So for example, for Derek to make stuffed animal, he needs 3 yellows. To make mittens, he needs 2 purple, 1 green, and to make a scarf, he needs a red, orange, green, and blue. Each player is also going to get a piece that matches their color that they'll be using to take their turns with. The first thing a player will do on their turn is they'll pick one of their 4 actions to do. And then on the following turn, they'll pick a different action. So you can go back and forth between the same 2, but you're not going to be able to take the same one each time. So just so you can see kind of the differences between a couple people, here's Derek and Ted. And you'll see they both have the same amount for shopping, but the second action here, the crafting, is different. Their third action is very different, and their fourth action is the same. And on the reverse side, it's pretty much the same thing, just a different person here with Eliza. The shop action lets you take yarn cards. There's going to be a pile of yarn cards here, and you simply take the number equal to your shopping action. So if your shopping action here for Eliza is 3, she could take 3 red, orange, and yellow, 1 of each of those. 2 blue, and maybe she needs 2 yellow. And then at the end of a player's turn, they're going to be filling these cards up. Now, when you fill a card up, sometimes you will have a event card show up, or you'll have a special order card show up, like for example these shoulder monster here. When you have one of these show up, you can either take it in front of yourself or give it to another player, where you will have to complete this by the end of the game and get that many points, or you could possibly lose points from not completing it. Either way, when one of these is drawn to replace the cards here, it's not replaced. And so the next person has fewer cards to pick from, but the good news to that is if there's an empty spot, you can take a wild, picking that spot as one of the things. So that's the shopping action. The crafting action lets you make things, and it's very simple. I can spend 2 yarn of 2 different colors here to make a hat, and then I simply take the hat. And I can spend 3 yellows here to make a bear, and so on and so forth. And this is the number of items that you can craft there. Now you notice this for Derek, they have a combination of shopping and crafting. So if Derek takes this action, Derek can shop twice and craft once, while Eliza has something different. Just take 3 yarn of 1 color and then craft once. So they have different things there. Then there's an exchange one. This basically lets you change as many yarn of 1 color for yarn of another color. And then there may be unique actions that a player has. Based on each player, they're going to have various things, like I said here, that they'll be able to do. Now at the end of your turn, after you're done filling in the spots with cards, then players have the opportunity to take what are called restock actions. There's going to be various projects here in the middle, and you may get a card that's won yourself. When you have these, you can pay for those projects. So for example, if I have a blanket and 2 bears. I can turn them in. Yes, I'm losing 3, 3, and 5, so 11 points to take this card, which is now worth 25 points. And these are going to be refilled, and the number of project cards that are available will be different per players. You can also upgrade and learn a pattern. So each player starts with these. So if I have a teddy bear, I can turn that teddy bear in to flip this tile. Now this tile is going to be worth 3 points at the end of the game, so I don't really lose any points for doing that. And I no longer need 3 yellow, now I just need 3 of one color. Same thing with the mittens. I no longer need 2 purples and a green, it just has to be 3 yarn of 2 different colors. So that's a way to maybe make the game go faster, but by turning those in, you don't have them to use then to try to finish the different projects here, which can be worth a considerable amount of points. When there's no cards left in this project deck, and there's fewer than 3 project cards up here, then the game is going to end and everyone will finish their turn. Although you can use your yarn to do special requests and things like that. Players are going to get points for all the different things that they've made, the different projects that they finished, for any tile that they've upgraded, and special requests that they've done. And if you do the special requests listed on your board, and those are all shuffled in the deck to make sure that they show up, you'll get an extra bonus 5 points. Now XYZ Labs partnered with Game Trays, who we all know and like because they make really excellent ways to store things. And I think this is not necessarily an exception to that rule. It works, but it doesn't work as well as I'd like it to. This bin in particular is great for storing things outside the game. During the game, I found these were a little small to stick your fingers in, and also, sometimes we want to have them around the board. We found that you're grabbing these so often. I mean, you're constantly shopping and taking things that we wanted to split them up and have them in 2 different sections. There's also these 3 yarns of color tokens, which we haven't seen us need yet, but maybe in the higher player counts, if people are just hoarding a lot of yarn, that might be a big deal. I like the different colors. Although I will say you're going to run into probably some colorblind issues, but I like the different tokens here, these wooden pieces that you have to show on your turn. The character art is really nicely done, and they do what I always think everyone should do and have 2 different characters on each side. The bowls are okay, they're very nice, but almost everyone I play with stops their bowl after a while just because they're constantly reaching in the bowl so often, they just put them in front of themselves because it's just a little bit easier. Other than that though, really nice production, and I think it's going to really attract people, especially those who like the theme. Now, ArchRavels is a very simple game. The concept of moving your action piece, it's been done in other games, notably Scythe actually, but this is a very simple thing. You can pick a different action each turn, you just can't pick the same one twice in a row. That's pretty simple. What are your actions? Taking cards, shopping, grabbing a lot of cards out there, using those items, saving up so you can build a bunch of items, using those items to complete orders. This is very basic stuff, things that we've seen in games before. But that's not a bad thing, because it's a tried and true formula that's being presented to a new audience, and I like it. Yes, there are a few small bumps, and I think gamers may have a problem with a few of the issues of the game. These special orders themselves are interesting. I like that idea a lot. Do I want to take the card or give it to somebody else? Sometimes I'll give it to somebody else just to give them something to keep their minds off of crafting the bear that they're going to complete that order with, which I want to beat instead. So giving those to somebody else, but having the particular one, your favorite order, that gives you 5 points, that I found to be more problematic, if only because why would I ever give that to that person? So no one ever gets those unless you happen to draw them. I wish there was almost a way like that just automatically went to that person. But other than that, the collecting stuff, you're getting it. I love the upgrade system a lot. Give up a bear to upgrade your bear. I mean, it almost seems like too obvious of a thing to do. Like, I'm going to just obviously upgrade all my stuff. I don't lose any points doing so, but what you lose is time. And so you lose that time. Yes, you upgraded your bear, but while you upgraded that bear, I got a bear and completed that order, which was worth 25 points. That mixed with each character is slightly different, mixed with different event cards that show up. And if you don't like the event cards, you can just take them out of the game. But they do things like everyone takes a yarn, everyone does this. it comes together in a game that's going to be really easy to teach people, a game that I think could actually be easily sold in the shelves of mass market. People who don't know anything about games could pick it up and play it. So yes, it's a light game, but it is a fun one, and the people I played with definitely enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing a larger audience coming into the hobby as a whole. So that's ArchRavels. I like it. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment approved.